This is Lisa with T-24.com. I don't know what's happening. Odd Musings with Brett and Scott.
Live from the Echo Network studios here in Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Odd Musings, back live again with our Dreams episode. I'm Brett Pinson. BrettPinson.com is where you find me and all the cool stuff I've created, like Boomtown Scabs, Adventures of Carl, The Expendables, and more. And I'm with
Scott and Zambelli, the one and only. Well, actually, that's not true. According to Facebook, there's one other.
I have found a few
other. I will have to find him and hunt him down.
There is a couple other Brett Pinsons because I've had them friend me on Facebook because we have the same name. And there's a couple that don't spell it right. They only have one T. My mom paid extra.
Now, the other Scott Zambelli has the exact same spelling, and I wonder how annoyed he gets by me because if you actually Google Scott Zambelli, I'm like 4 pages worth of Facebook.
That's me. Mine still comes up there, and then it hits some kid in Ohio, I believe it is, that played football in high school and I think a little bit of a small college.
Right.
And he's probably like 20 or 21 now. So, and then you go down further and it's still me.
I picture this other Scott Zambelli being like, who the hell is this guy? And why is he taking up all my Google potential?
Hopefully he doesn't think it's a Highlander situation. There can only be one.
Well, if he does, you will lose.
I'm coming for the quickening.
I will imbue or absorb all the powers of Scott's.
Come on, I can draw now. I never could draw.
or maybe he thinks maybe we're one and the same.
Yeah.
And when I'm dreaming, he's awake.
There you go.
And when he's dreaming, I'm awake.
It's an alternate universe, but you have to be in the same universe.
Which ties us into today's episode.
But Facebook ties all universes together, so
it does. It's that nexus point where everything merges and where Deadpool crosses over into the MCU.
Yeah, I bought that yesterday. I got to watch it still.
Did it just come out?
Yesterday.
Okay, because I saw a bunch of people at the store with it. I still haven't bought Infinity War.
I bought that too last week.
I have a dilemma. I have a dilemma with Infinity War.
Yes.
So, here's my dilemma. Our upstairs family room, we have a DVD player.
Right.
In my bedroom, I have a Blu-ray player. Mm-hmm. But I almost never watch TV in my room. Mm-hmm. So whenever a movie comes out that I want, I pay the extra $5 for the Blu-ray DVD combo.
Right. And you get the digital with it.
I never watch digital.
You should set up the digitals. And that way you can watch them anywhere.
Yeah, but that's all newfangled technology stuff.
Oh, you're such an old man.
I know.
Where is this digital thingy here? In my day, we used to have to hand crank the VCR.
Hey, I still buy my CDs, my albums on CDs.
I do too, but that's only because I buy Blu-rays and CDs also because if the internet goes down, I still want physical representation of all my products.
Exactly. When the zombie apocalypse happens, I want to be able to play my movies still.
Right.
So I go to the store and I'm going to buy Infinity War. Well, here's the problem. They don't sell now the Blu-ray DVD combo.
Yeah, I've noticed that with a few of the...
They're splitting it up now.
Yes, and now certain ones you can. Now for Deadpool, it is straight Blu-ray and digital, and they've got the one Blu-ray is the theatrical cut, the other one is this new super duper cut with 15 more minutes.
Right. So I'm trying to buy Infinity War. Mm-hmm. I have to make a choice. Do I buy the Blu-ray, which I probably won't watch much because I don't watch it downstairs much, or do I buy the DVD? I'm like, well...
Deidre says here, just go buy Blu-ray. They're cheap enough. You got a DVD player upstairs, go buy the Blu-ray.
Oh, Deidre, stop with your logic.
Or if you have a Blu-ray downstairs and a DVD upstairs, just swap them. Since you never watch anything downstairs, just take the Blu-ray upstairs.
Well, okay, now I got to unwire stuff. Anyways, you are dislodging me from my point. Stop with these solutions. The point being, I can't just do what I always did. So I'm like, well, I'll just buy the DVD. I really don't care about the extra quality of Blu-ray. No. I'll just buy the DVD. But then what, I found out? You can only get the bonus content if you buy the Blu-ray.
Right.
So if I buy DVD, that is contentism.
Right.
They are discriminating against me if I want DVD. I am denied my bonus content.
You need to start buying the Blu-ray with the digital. Just put the digital on the upstairs where you can stream it whenever you want through whatever device.
Where do you put it?
Well, you attach it to like Vudu and Movies Anywhere.
I don't have those.
You can easily sign up for free accounts.
So, yeah.
And and then you put the code in, and then you have it hooked up to a Roku player, like we use for our thing up here.
Yeah, but that's like $100. Actually, I do have a Fire box.
Fire Stick would work.
I have the box thing.
Yeah, the Fire Stick. You couldn't use Voodoo with Fire Stick,
which has been sitting in the box for the last 8 months.
Or you can,
I gotta hook that up, I guess. Maybe if I hook that up, my problems will be solved.
There you go.
When you download the digital one, do you get the bonus content in the digital?
Actually, with my Voodoo account, I do.
Oh, really?
Okay. I put the Infinity War in, and it had all these little featurettes that popped up. I was able to watch right there, so I didn't even put the disc in. So it's well worth it. I would get like a Roku, or like I use my Xbox One.
Connie volunteered you to set me up.
Yeah, I know. She's always volunteering.
Thank you, Connie. I may have to take up that offer. Yeah. And Deidre, it's never just one plug. It's never. It's just like I fixed the plumbing the other day. Okay, minor fix, should have been fast, and it was the toilet. The toilet runs, so you flush the toilet, and then you still hear it trickling for all day. So I go in there, fix the innards, everything's fine, right? Well, from fixing that, I found out one of the hoses. Thank God I was actually fixing it when I was. I just put a little pressure on this. It snapped off. So it was like getting ready to blow. So I had to leave the water off. I had to drive back to the store, buy a new pipe, put that in, turn the water on. Everything's working, except now I got all this water on the ground. Like, where'd this come from? Well, it turns out from the movement of putting everything into the toilet, the bolts that hold the tank to the toilet, well, those seals are old, and the movement caused them to move slightly, and it was leaking. So then I had to turn all the water off again, drain the tank again, run out to the store again for visit number 3 to buy the replacement bolts and the new seals. Come back. So anyways, what should have been a fast 20-minute fix at most turned into like a 2-hour, 3-trip thing to the store.
And you weren't shifting in between to make up for the time that you were out?
No.
Darn.
No.
I gotta run to the store. Hey, I can pick up a shop. Great. I'll write it off my way to the store.
Well, I went to Lowe's for the first trip, and then the second trip, Walmart's across the street. So I'm like, I'm just going to go to Walmart for these bolts, and God took care of it. So anyways, that was my running back.
Well, I bought the Blu-ray for Deadpool yesterday, and the Target exclusive was it came with a children's book that's not for children's book, as it's called, and it basically is an illustrative children's book, like a golden book of the movie. And I was like, I gotta have that. That's just too cool.
Yeah, that was from Target.
Target, that's their exclusive.
See, they're probably all sold out of the exclusives. But
they had some last night at the ones I went to last night, but that's the one that usually sells out the fastest.
Right.
And then I think Best Buy is doing like a steel book, which people like some of the steel books. They had cool artwork on them, but after a while, I was like, well, you can't put all these DVDs facing out. So
correct,
things like that. But that's why I did that yesterday, and then I had breakfast yesterday with Mom because I mentioned it was my birthday in the pre-show, and Mom bought it for me for my birthday as a birthday gift. So
very nice.
And then I
really did enjoy Deadpool too.
I'm looking forward to watching the extended cut. I'm going to probably put it in the DVD player today or Blu-ray player and watch it. So and I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what it
is. It 15 minutes, and I'm like going, okay, I don't know if I remember enough of the movie after seeing it once, if what's going to be added in.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be more Juggernaut. So
Juggernaut was great.
They finally got him right.
That's right.
But we were talking today, you mentioned something about a new record in recordings.
Yeah, so I mentioned I always buy my albums and CDs and stuff. So anyways, we have a new world champion when it comes to album sales.
Yeah.
For the longest time, people have been saying it's Michael Jackson's Thriller album.
Yeah, it was.
Which was quite the event at the time it came out. It was tied in with MTV, had the whole, remember the world premiere?
Oh, yeah.
Video came out. It was Halloween night, wasn't it?
It was like a 15-minute Thriller video, and it was all revolutionary back in 83, 84.
Huge production, and that for the longest time has been declared as the #1 album. But the last time they actually did an album count was 2006. And so
I know it's all changed since then because of so much digital streaming.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know how they take that into account now with the counting, but there's an official organization called the Recording Industry Association of America.
Yep.
They're known as the RIAA, and they're the ones in charge of tallying these album sales. And they were petitioned by a certain band's record label to recount everything because they felt they might be a number one. And they were right. So the new champion of the world in album sales is the Eagles with their greatest hits albums for 1971 through 1975.
Yeah.
They are now 38 times platinum, which means 38 million albums sold.
Right.
And
that's from having LPs starting in the 70s to cassettes to the late 70s, 80s. Probably a few 8-tracks thrown in there, too.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
But the big jump happened after 2006.
Yeah, and what it was is you had from, I wonder if they now are including not just CD sales, but also digital downloads of the album.
Right. And I think where they probably got big help, too, is probably people having to...
people rebuying it,
rebuying.
Too.
When they came out with their box set, it's like, oh, buy this.
Yeah, it's like when Thriller came out, it was people buying the LPs and cassettes, and some people were actually buying both at the same time because they wanted to listen to it in the car and then have it on the LP at home. And it lasts a long time. I mean, it's one of Michael Jackson's most iconic albums.
Yeah.
But the Eagles, I'm not like the biggest fan of the Eagles. I like a few of their songs.
Yeah.
That definitely has a lot of songs that you still hear played on the radio quite a bit. Younger generation knows them still, so they're going and buying the album.
It does amaze me, though, that they are the number one all time. That amazes me because if you were just to sit down and say, who's the number one band ever?
Well, it's usually people say like the
Beatles, Rolling Stones, heck, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, whoever, Elvis Presley.
Or even go to David Bowie, stuff like that.
Yeah, I would name off like 30 bands before I even got to the Eagles. And it's the Eagles. Now, so they are 38 million. Thriller is in second place with 33 million. So they beat them by 5 million.
Yeah, I think what that is just the longevity of how their music is. Well, Michael Jackson's music from then, a lot of it does sound very dated.
Yeah. But I also think it's amazing it's a greatest hits album that's number one because that's just rehashing songs from other albums.
But if you look at a lot of the albums, especially like through the 60s and 70s in rock, is an album would come out, you'd get just a couple on the long play part, just a couple that were hits. They put them all out as singles, and then by the time they're done, they came out with a new album.
But I'd be curious to see in the top 20 list of all-time albums, how many of them are greatest hits?
There's probably more than what we think.
Yeah. But so we got number 2 is Thriller, and then number 3 is the Eagles again with Hotel California.
Okay.
They got 26 million.
Well, and that was their most popular album. I think that has pretty much almost everything that's on the greatest hits. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying is so you got between those two albums, half of the songs on Hotel California are on the greatest hits album, I think.
Yeah.
So that's like, what is that? That's 64 million copies between those two albums. That's crazy. So anyways, congrats to the new champions,
the Eagles. Yeah.
Which will probably hold that record now because if you think about it, with the way digitals are done now, I don't think albums really sell anymore. People buy individual
we're never going to see probably beat because most people don't even buy albums. They're buying the music services like Amazon or Google or iTunes. Right. And they can stream all that stuff, but they're not actually buying the albums.
Yeah, so that's where I'm wondering, are we going to ever see this list change again? I don't know.
Probably not. We'll I would say it'd be very rare if we do. And that, say hi to a couple who got Robert listening in. Hey, Robert.
Robert and Sue. Hello.
Hi, Sue. Robert called me old during my birthday message yesterday. He goes, "Happy birthday, old man." I said, "Well, I make old look good." Yeah. And another thing I saw we didn't talk about today. Did you hear Brendan Fraser's coming back into acting?
What?
Yes, he's going to play Robot Man in the Doom Patrol on the DC streaming service.
So is he doing voice then?
No. It's a live action show.
What is it?
He's Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. Okay.
Yeah, he's playing Robot Man. As far as I know, it's a live action show. He says he's playing them. So
I've always liked Brendan Fraser.
It's actually I'm looking at going. I may have to try the DC streaming service when it comes out just to see that.
Yeah.
Because I like Brendan Fraser. I've been a fan of his since Encino Man.
Now the last thing I can recall is Journey to the Center of the Earth. Did he do anything after that?
I think he had a couple movies, but that was pretty much the last big movie he did. And after it bombed, he kind of disappeared for a while.
And I'm surprised that it was a fun movie.
I liked
enjoyed
it.
And I was looking, the way they set it up, it looked like they were going to be able to turn it into like a trilogy or something.
Well, they kind of did. They did the journey to the center with The Rock, and it was Rock. He's getting these movies where he's biting off of these. He's doing the sequels, Jumanji 2, and then Skyscraper, the sequel to Die Hard.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but it was fun.
Yeah, well, that's cool that he's coming back.
So I was excited about that. I was really excited to see that. And
well, since he did far better than Tom Cruise in The Mummy, maybe they'll pretend that didn't happen.
Well, I'll tell you this: they revamped the Mummy ride at Universal, and it's still Brendan Fraser at the end, thanking you for riding the ride and
was it
running his cup of
updated
coffee.
Brendan Fraser or
Nope, still the same video
was
from
an old
20 years
video?
ago.
Oh, okay.
So they did the ride around. They replaced Kong with that ride back when the movie came out, and that. But they refurbished it recently just to kind of clean up the graphics and a few things when you're doing the roller coaster and that. So it was pretty cool.
Now, another thing that I recently discovered too, it's been out since 2012, but I just started watching on Netflix. It's Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Yeah, you were talking about that. That sounds great.
I have been absolutely loving that series. I don't know how. I've only seen one episode. It was the Gary Shandling episode because he was on that just before he passed away.
Okay.
And so this was originally like an internet series, I believe.
Yeah, that's when I first heard about it. That's why I never watched it.
So when he passed and they talked about this, I went on and watched it. And it was excellent. I didn't realize it was this full series though. So it's 71 episodes on Netflix, and every episode, Jerry, I guess, is an avid car collector. I didn't know that, but much like Jay Leno is.
Right. Yeah.
And so he'll pick out a different car every episode to match the personality of the person he's meeting with, and it's really good. You feel like you get to see the real person. Mm-hmm. He picks them up, they drive to the location, and they sit down and have coffee and they just talk. But you feel like you're sitting on a real conversation versus like usually with the interviews and stuff. You feel like
sounds like the person's not on; they're just being themselves.
Yeah, whereas
you get to
the
look at
interviews, it's like the character they want you to see versus the behind the scenes person they are.
Right.
Whereas so Seinfeld, to me, it feels like it's a real conversation. You're actually seeing the real person. So my only complaint, like I posted online, was I think they're too short. They're only like 20 minutes long, and they get done. These could easily be hour-long episodes. They're so good.
I'm sure there's a lot of material they cut out just for time.
Oh yeah, because you can tell from the videos they spent the whole day together. You can tell because they show them at different locations and different things, and so they definitely, and even interacting with just people because Jerry Seinfeld's driving through the streets and like they're at a red light and some guy will just like knock on the window like, "Are you Seinfeld?" or "What car is that?" and and they'll interact with the people. So it's just been a real joy because I'm working on the Legion of Justice comic series right now, and that's moving along really well. And I like to have something on, and that's a perfect one where I can put on while I'm drawing because you don't have to watch it; you can just listen. And so I've been playing that a lot. I'm already on episode like 23 or something. And so anyways, if you like comedians and you want to feel like you're getting to know the person behind the person, check that out. It's definitely worth the time.
That's cool. The only thing I've watched lately, they got a new animated show on Netflix. I'm blanking on it. Disenchantment. Yes, I've watched a couple episodes of that. And
what are your thoughts?
It's different. It's definitely more adult.
I only watched half of the first episode. I turned it off.
It's not great, but I've watched a couple. I'll probably watch a few more just because I have enjoyed some of it.
Yeah,
and I want to see where they go with it.
Yeah, I gotta say, I couldn't even finish the first episode.
Yeah, the first episode is the worst, and then I think it's going to take a couple episodes to cement what's going to happen, where you get the princess and the demon and the other character, and that where they're finally going to be the trio doing the adventures. In some ways, it feels a little bit like Bone. If you ever read the comic book Bone, a little bit different. It's different completely, but it just has a similar feel to it for some reason in terms of pacing and that.
Okay.
So I'm kind of interested to see how that goes, and so I'm going to watch a little bit more of that, and watched a couple movies here and there. I pop on an episode of Chuck here and there. Still, I'm in season 4 of Chuck right now. So
that's one I've been wanting to get back into. That's not on.
It's
Netflix.
on Amazon.
Yeah, I have Amazon. I've yet to ever watch it.
Amazon Prime, I love it.
I just have so many things on Netflix I like.
Yeah,
but I do plan on. watching Amazon Prime at the end of August.
Yeah, they got the new Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah, that starts next week.
Yeah, Jim from The Office.
That looks good.
We're going to see what happens when what Michael Scott pushed him to get into. How he relieved all his stress.
Yeah, well, I like some of the Amazon series I've watched. There's the Marvelous Miss Maple or something. In fact, I liked it. It was about a comedian in the 50s. It's not based on a true story, but she interacts with real comedians in the late 50s that were underground comics in New York and that. And then The Man in the High Tower was really good.
Heard that's good.
Definitely like that one, and I'm looking forward to the Ryan one in that. So, and it's nice that some of the classic series. They got a lot of stuff they're popping up on Amazon Prime of old series and things like that. So that's where I'm gonna get a better fix for that stuff than Netflix. Netflix is going so much more original content and more newer stuff.
Yeah, they're definitely they're getting like Netflix used to find all kinds of movies. Now, not so much. Like not with the new stuff.
The balance is changing, and I like it. I call it a balance because I like having both Netflix and Amazon. I even have Hulu still, and Hulu's got some good series. I watched the first episode of Castle Rock, and that was really good. That's the Stephen King based universe movie, and that looks like it's gonna be very interesting to go forward with that one there. So a lot of good content there. It's tough to watch a ton of stuff out there anymore because there's just so much to choose from. You have to pick and choose,
right?
And that. But before we get into our dreams here, I do want to talk about Loringer Family Chiropractic, our sponsor for the show today. Because at Loringer Family Chiropractic, your journey to wellness begins here. Build a healthy lifestyle with chiropractic care. I was just there yesterday for my birthday and got adjusted. So that helps me out with building my healthy wellness and my lifestyle. But at Loringer Family Chiropractic Center PC, they do take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient. They offer on-site digital x-rays, massage therapy, orthotics by foot levelers, young living essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of vitamins, all in a family-oriented environment. Give them a call at 734-697-4244. That's their main office in Belleville, Michigan. Also located in Dexter, Michigan. You can also visit them online at LoringerFamilyChiropractic.com. We do have a link at oddmusings.com. If you're not in the area, give them a call and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And maybe they can direct you to a place you need to go to. If you're into the essential oils, they can definitely help you get that. We're going to still try to get Dr. Corinne to come out. I got to get a hold of her again and see if we can schedule that.
Are there any non-essential oils I can get?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
It's like everyone is essential.
Yes. Well, they're essential to something.
Something.
But I'm sure there's some oily stuff out there you're going, oh, what is this for? It's, I don't know, it's teenage leak. I don't know. That wouldn't be essential. Although it was back in the, what was it, the Kentucky Fried Movie, and they were talking about, the new fuel source, and they had like these things with all the teenagers sucking the oil out of their faces. There's been a power car.
The only thing I know about essential oils, it seems like thieves is the answer to everything.
Yes, and that's
it
what
seems like it's always thieves or peppermint.
Thieves is the big one for Dr. Anna. I've got some I use. It helps with warding off illness. They also have a cleaning products that are thieves based and that. So it seems to be a good one there. So
Deidre's telling me my chair needs oil. I did notice it's squeaking quite a bit.
Yeah.
I did. I'm like trying to sit still now because when you were doing that, I moved.
It's groaning from the weight of the Scott.
It's telling me I gotta lose weight. That's not good.
As you've been running 20 miles a day.
I put on 3 pounds these last 2 weeks.
It's all muscle, I bet you.
Oh, I need less because I'm.
Or is it all beard? You haven't trimmed your beard.
I haven't. I've got my hair is getting.
Oh, there we go.
Because Renaissance Festival is coming up.
Oh, so yeah, he's got to be there. His. What are you, a Viking or?
Well, I'm a member of the Dragon Corps from Legend of the Seeker for TV series.
Okay,
but I should have started growing everything out a month earlier, just so it's at the proper level for Renaissance Fair. But so I'm hoping to go out there next weekend.
Yeah, I'm going on Labor Day. I've already made my plans for that, and so I'm looking forward to going out there. One of my favorite shows is the Rogue Blades, and they've been revamping their show for this year. I don't think they changed it, but I saw where the guy who plays Squire Paul got injured a little while ago, but he seems to be okay. He's doing the shows, and I always look forward to seeing them. They're a funny show, and they're right there at the entrance when you come in, so I always catch them first and that. Cool. As well as just hanging out. I love hanging out at the Ren Fair and getting Scotch eggs.
Ren Fair in and of itself is almost like a living dream.
Yes.
Which takes us to
dreams.
Dreams.
Yes.
Did we tell everyone where to go for the Loringer?
Yes,
Did I
Loringer Family
sidetrack you?
Chiropractic or oddmusings.com.
Okay, sponsor.
Because all our sponsors are on oddmusings.com. And you may see some that are no longer our sponsors, and they'll be removed.
So, yeah. So,
but also, we do have a kind of a faux sponsor, but I did get to see, before we jump to dreams, I saw Vinny and Lisa last weekend from T-24, who makes our shirts, the Odd Musing shirts.
that's right.
And you can go to T-24.com/odd and order the Odd Musings t-shirt. Coupon code ODD, you get 10% off.
Yes.
And if you wear the t-shirt and see us at a Comic-Con, you get a no prize.
That's right. Or you get an FU from Vinny.
Yeah.
Like I got.
Why, wearing the shirt?
No. He texted me. I didn't respond.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting there at dinner, yeah. See, Scott we were trying to get Scott to come out and have dinner with us when they were in town for the Michigan Comic-Con.
Yeah, I did a lot of shifting this weekend, so
Ace.
I ended up not going. But
yeah.
I got a nice text by Vinny.
Yeah.
It was all in good fun.
Yeah,
or was it?
They're good friends. I'll see them in Cincinnati, and if you get in Cincinnati,
I hope
I'll see them too.
I'm trying to get in there. I should send them another email to.
You may just have to break down and buy the booth and just come out and have fun.
I'm not buying a booth there. I did that already.
Yeah. So dreams, you got some information on dreams for us here.
Yeah, dreams. So before we get into it, everyone dreams. Everyone dreams, and
even if you think you don't dream, you do.
yeah, and that's actually one of the interesting facts is actually might as well get into the facts and we work everything around it. Is everybody dreams across the board, but on average, the average person spends 2 hours a night dreaming, and the average dream lasts between 5 to 20 minutes. So you have multiple small dreams that happen, and you might be like, "Well, I don't remember them." They said 95% of all dreams are actually forgotten. And the reason for that is because your frontal lobe of your brain is actually responsible for creating memories. And while you're in REM state, the frontal lobe shut off. It's resting. It's recharging. So that's why the majority of dreams are not actually remembered.
Okay.
Because the part that would actually capture those memories is off. But everyone does do it. And over the course of a average person's lifetime, you dream a total of 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so 6 years of your life is in dreams.
That's scary.
Yeah, especially when we get into some of the other stats, you'll find out why that is scary. But so, how about you? Are you a vivid dreamer? Do you remember your dreams?
I do at times.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned to me, we were talking about this the other day, it was like, people supposedly dream in black and white. I dream in color and always have, as far as I know.
I had heard that before, but in this list I pulled up, they say it's actually, there are people who dream in black and white, but they do say it's usually colors, and in the studies that they've done, they find soft pastel colors are usually the colors most associated with the dreams.
Mine always feel like movie and TV show type colors.
Yeah. Dark, overly dark.
A mix of dark, some light. Yeah, it varies on the setting and situation and all that stuff with the dreams. So.
Now, through your life, are there any particular dreams that have reoccurred or?
Yeah, and I'm not going to talk about those. Those are not pleasant experiences because they're actually based in real life.
Okay. Yeah.
But those are ones that. Well, I won't get into the actual dream part itself. It's based around the car accident.
Yeah, well, that was an actual.
That's a recurring. Yeah, that's a recurring thing which is weird when, in terms of dreams, it pops up when I least expect it to.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I'm in a funk.
Right.
But there's other ones.
But what about like fictional dreams? Do you have anything or
nothing really recurring? It varies. Like I said, a lot of it feels like actual movies in that. Yeah. And like I'm in the movie itself. Moving through it, interacting with people. Once in a while, it's based in real life. A lot of times, it's based on just fictional characters that just come out of, I don't know where these people come from,
right? Or
creatures or whatever else.
Yeah.
I do have some nightmares and things like that, but a lot of them are just. It's like a busy dream. It's like my mind must still be going for whatever reason, and of course in these dreams,
right,
and that stuff. So
yeah, I have some. Not the dream. Well, I've had a couple dreams where the dream itself has occurred over the course of many years, where I've had it like 4, 5, 6 times, at least from memory. Who knows? 95% of dreams are forgotten, so maybe I've had it 100 times. But what I'll find is in the dream, like let's say I need a key to get out of a room. Well, because I've had the dream, I'll know where to look for the key now.
So it's like you're doing a choose your own adventure dream.
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, I'll actually start recognizing the environment and be like, oh wait, I know where to find that. and I can go get it because I've been there before.
Yeah.
One interesting thing is or I'll have certain characters that reoccur. For instance, the Lloyd Alexander book of 3, the cover of it where you got the skulled character on the horse.
Yeah, it's the Horn King.
Horn King.
Yep.
That character will appear in various dreams.
Okay, so he definitely had an impact on you.
Yeah, I love the artwork of those books so much.
Yeah.
So that character, I find a lot of my dreams end up being dreams that are either one of two things, or they're either if there's something in real life happening, and I'll through dreams I'll figure out a solution. I'll wake up and be like, oh wait, I have an idea how to fix that. Okay. I'll problem solve in the dream.
Now I've done that myself where I'm thinking so much on stuff and I just go to sleep and I'll sleep on it, wake up the next day and try to be fresh. Well, the whole time my mind goes through it and I wake up with the idea of what's going on.
Yeah. So. Or I'll have a lot of dreams that are chasing dreams, or I'm being chased, or something like a creature or a person, whatever it is.
Right.
And it's kind of like a hide and seek type thing where it's you got to get away or get out or whatever. But that tends to be I wouldn't say common as in all the time, but that's probably the majority of my dreams when I do remember them.
Yeah, I would say there's times I wake up kind of remembering it and then it goes away. And so I haven't, figured that out exactly how I can keep remembering dreams. But when people tell me, "Oh, I don't dream, I never remember," I'm like, "Well, I always do. I at least know I've dreamt."
Right.
So,
but supposedly everyone dreams every night. Unless you're not getting REM sleep, in which case then you just got sleep issues and you're going to be...
Well, that's a whole different,
But another thing is, now we, I talked about being chased, or even you have real life memories that come to you in your dreams. What they find is, through studies, is the most common dreams for people are negative emotions.
Okay.
Whether it's anxiety, stress, a bad event, somebody chasing you down, you're getting into an altercation, those kind of dreams are the most common for all people, men or women, across the board. So so when they tell you, go live out your dreams, you might not want to. It might be the daily stress you have are creating your dreams. Oh, don't follow your dreams; they're horrible. So
yeah, it's
and I've heard this too. What Deidre just posted too. I talk about there's these rules about dreaming. There will never be a character in your mind that you see that you've never actually seen in real life. Your brain will not generate a face it's never seen. So it could be somebody you just passed for, even if you just saw them for a split second at the store. That image gets captured, and in your dreams, every single person you encounter in your dreams is somebody you encountered in real life.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of times I feel I don't know who these people are, and then maybe I see them later, and well, that looks like someone
right. And you might have passed them in the store or whatever. Robert, this is another common dream: falling. Yep. Oh, you hit the bottom? You're not supposed to hit the bottom, Robert. You're supposed to wake up before you hit. Aren't you supposed to die? That's the other rule. If you die in your dreams, you die in real life.
That's always been the rule. They tied that into, we'll talk about movies later, but Dreamscape, that was big in Dreamscape.
Yep, Dreamscape, which I love that movie. That was just the right age for me, where it was really freaky and scary to watch. Yeah. At the age I was at, I don't know, I forget when that came out.
I was about 13 when it came out. It came out in 84, I believe it was.
Yeah, something like that. And that was awesome. We'll talk about that later.
Right,
but, falling dream. I've had it where grasping onto something and it was out of control, like a bus or something, a truck, something like that. But I was stuck on the outside grabbing, and so the speed was whipping me around. It's probably traumatic stress from you putting me on the roller coaster.
It was one drop.
But things like that, I've had those kind of dreams too, where basically it's loss of control, I think. Yeah. And it's a fear of loss of control maybe. But now, have you ever had a dream where you could control the dream?
Yes. There's several times over the years when I've been in dreams, I've become almost self-aware in the dream, and I've made things happen, changed things.
Yes.
Stuff like that. So
there is an actual term for that dream.
Okay.
It's called a lucid dream, is what they're called. And what they talk about is it's this state where you're in REM, rapid eye movement. That's where the dream state is.
That's your deepest sleep.
That's your deepest sleep. But there is this fine line where the consciousness is still awake, but the REM has begun. And when you're in that stage is when you can control it.
Okay.
And there are some people who do it occasionally, and there are some people who report doing this quite often. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's called lucid dreaming.
Okay.
Yeah, I found that interesting. And, and I've had those situations, kind of like when I was talking about where it's almost like an event will happen in the dream when it's those reoccurring dreams where my mind is like, wait a minute, I've been here. Mm-hmm. And like, there's a certain house layout. I've never been in this house. It's this weird, complex design, and certain dreams will take place. There'll be different types of dreams, but the house will be the same.
Okay. And
I'll notice, like, as I'm dreaming, I'll be like, wait a minute, I know this layout. And it's like, I know where everything is then. And it's like, I can, but my control of the dreams is limited. Like, I can control certain things from happening, but I can't suddenly fly. I can't just,
right.
I can't break the rules that confine me.
Yeah, no,
life.
it's not like the Matrix where all of a sudden, hey, I can do this because I can control my mind. It's you get in, like, something's going to happen. It's like you dodge it. You say something different. Someone's going to say something. You change it up.
Yeah.
I've had that a couple of times in dreams, even a couple that maybe semi-recurring when they've been there before. Because I've had that feeling like I've been in this dream before, and you do that too. It's kind of like it gives you like a deja vu feeling. Because when I'm awake, I get deja vu here and there. Like, I know something's going to happen. It seems like I know what they're going to say.
I have had that where I was so sure this has happened before. I've even said one time I vocally said this is going to happen, and it happened. Yeah. And I was just like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah, I've had that a few, over for years, and it comes and goes. But
yeah,
but that's how it feels in the dreams. It's like what's going to happen, you make it happen, or you change it.
Yeah,
and it changes the whole dynamic of the dream.
Right.
And a lot of times after that point, I wake up not too long after that because it's like it shooks me awake and that. So
correct.
And I go from there. But yeah, dreams are very interesting and stuff like that.
They are. Now this is the interesting fact I didn't even conceive of when I was reading through these things about dreams. Blind people, even blind people who've been blind since birth, can have visual dreams.
Okay.
Which I find interesting since they've never seen something, how do they visualize?
Well, if they've touched stuff, so they've the mind kind of pieces it together.
Right.
I'm sure if we could actually see it, the look would be way different than what ours look like in the world and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they see some, even, blind people, you hear about them talk about it, they don't really see much, but there's something like, light and stuff like that.
Right.
And,
yeah, so maybe it's a combination of all those sensations that they're seeing what their mind is picturing.
Right. It creates this picture in their mind's eye, as I've always talked about. So
yeah, that's interesting. No, I've never been in that kind of a dream.
No, I've been the one where I was the killer, but
were you?
Yeah, many times. Beating someone to death.
Well, and that's an interesting point too. That takes us to our next little factoid. Men and women dream differently. Men will typically have dreams that involve a physical altercation or some type of confrontation, whether verbal or whatever, or physical, but there's conflict. Whereas women typically dream about things that have to do with more like they're not getting something done in time. It's more about them or them failing or them not feeling right about, like, I said clothes is a big one.
I can't choose my dress. Oh my God.
but they'll tend to focus on things that are inward facing, whereas men are more the outward conflict. They're focused on the inward conflict. So I found that interesting also.
That's a good fact. I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, since I've never been a woman, I don't know for sure how women dream.
Well, you need to start self-identifying just so you can dream that way.
That's a good point. Boom. Fixed. I'll do that tonight.
There you go.
I'll wake up. Different topic, but that that just made me think of the Mel Gibson movie where you could hear them think, all the women thinking.
Yeah, Oh yeah. Mom puts in here work. I've had work dreams. When they added the 734 area code, I was selling wireless phones, and I spent like a whole week with people bringing their 313 phones in to switch over to 734, to the point of I started dreaming at night I was still doing it.
Oh yeah.
And I wake up, I was like, oh my god, I got like no rest. I gotta go do this crap again.
I find that happens when I'm new at something, like shifting. Even with shifting, like about a month into it, like where I was really starting to build up when I first started really doing heavy loads, I'd go home and sleep and dream about shopping all night, then wake up and shop, and it's like, really? I got no break from this.
Yeah. And that's the hard part, is I haven't done a lot of shopping dreams, but I've had a couple of those also here and there.
Yeah.
Especially when I've done a lot over a course, and then it's like my mind's still thinking about it, though I'm trying not to, and that.
Right.
But yeah, it's always interesting when you're doing work and then you have work dreams, and it's like, oh, come on, really? I literally woke up and went, that's a bunch of crap. I had to sleep 7 hours and still worked, and now I
didn't get paid for it.
Yeah, and I got to do 8 hours now.
At least if I got paid for it,
I'd feel better, I'm going, right? I've already done this. I feel like Dante, from Clerks. I shouldn't even be here today. I feel like I've already done this.
I've already done this. Exactly. So Deidre thinks she's a guy. She must dream of beating people up a lot.
She sounds like she could take you.
Yep. And What Women Want. That was the name of the Mel Gibson movie.
Right. That was a fun movie. I like that one.
That was good. Yeah. So that takes us through some of the rules, so to speak, of different things.
Of course, those rules in movies get changed up a little bit.
I've also heard you can never dream about yourself older than you've ever been.
I don't know.
Like you can dream about yourself younger than you are, but you will never dream about yourself. Like you won't have a dream about yourself when you're 90 years old.
Okay. I don't know if I've had one where I was really old, but I always felt like I've had somewhere it was future, so I definitely would have been older. But
my understanding of it is you can dream about the future, but you yourself in the dream will be your current age.
Okay.
You
See, most of the time when I'm in those dreams, I'm not seeing myself. I'm seeing through my eyes.
Through your own eyes.
So I'm an active participant in the dream, so not just visually watching it happen.
Robert said he dreams about seeing things through the killer's eyes, and you've dreamed as a killer. Maybe he links to your dreams and see through yours eyes.
Well, he's still alive, so I haven't had him yet. So.
But so you were talking about dreams are very hard to capture visually.
Yes.
Because there's so much involved with dreams that are based upon memory, feelings, emotions that we visualize them based on all those things combined. But to put something onto film to create a dream sequence or things, that's an art form in and of itself.
Well, yeah, and to see the changes, like we mentioned right off the bat for movies, Inception.
Yeah.
Major dream movie of recent movies, and where they're going into a dream, and then in the dream, they're still going even further into other dreams. So it's like our subconscious is dreaming and so on and so forth as it goes through.
It's an interesting concept because wasn't it, it was like the future of being a spy. Wasn't he like breaking into people's dreams and going into these deeper layers to uncover truths?
Yeah, codes and things like that. Yeah. And there's all kinds of stuff where they're trying to basically, it was done in the same vein as Dreamscape. We'll talk about that too a little bit. But as they're going deeper into it, they're trying to find the most inner memories that would reveal either like a password they needed,
right,
or a reason they can kind of get whatever the deal was and things like that. It's been a while since I've watched it. I'm going to have to watch that one again.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they dealing with some of the main characters like Leonardo DiCaprio, and they found out they've got their own hidden away memories, and they all had a certain trinket they used to be able to determine if it was a dream or if it was real.
Right, that's right, because you can get so deep in the dream you get lost. Plus, wasn't time changed at each level?
Right, and it went what it was is
you could live like a lifetime.
The further away you went, it could be like a minute was 20 minutes, and the next thing now a minute was 2 hours, 2 days, 2 years.
Right,
and that's how when they show them going deeper in that towards the end and then pulling back out, it all took place over like 5 minutes. But the further they were deeper in, the longer time they had to fix that problem to move forward, and same thing for that. So.
Yeah, and that is an interesting thing because if you really think about it, the concept, and with Dreamscape, for instance, the idea there was they were going into dreams to kill people.
Yeah, and then manipulate them and things like that.
Yeah, the idea being if you die in your dream, you die in real life. So they were doing assassinations via dream.
Yeah, because the main thing was at the end trying to go into the president's dream, and the one guy was going to kill him, and the other one went in to try to save him.
Right, Dennis Quaid.
Yep, Dennis Quaid, and then it was from Green Acres, the star of Green Acres.
Oh, the bad guy?
No, the president was from Green Acres.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The bad guy, I can't remember his name, but he was also he was the one in Oh God, the Schwarzenegger movie. Remember, I said I'd kill you last. I lied.
Well, he was also in The Warriors. He was like, Warriors,
Yeah.
come out and play.
Yeah, he was a creepy little dude. So
He was, he's a guy that I liked in
He
movies.
played the scummy little villain pretty well.
Yeah, it's funny how well he played that role. And but yeah, I'm pulling it up right now so I can get the cast here, because it had Kate Capshaw was in it, Max von Sydow was in it, he was the doctor, Eddie Albert was the president.
Commando is what I was thinking of with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, he was in Commando.
Yeah.
And then he was
Remember, I said I'd kill you last. That's also the great line. Let off some steam, Bennett. Love that line.
yeah. And
So, talking about killing people in their sleep, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Nightmare on Elm Street.
right, yeah,
That's
that's one. Yeah, that one's you got a creature that a character that lived in
the
dreams.
dream world.
Yeah, and that's actually probably one of the most famous dream ones. In fact, they dealt with that quite a bit within the movies went on the Dream Warrior and things like that.
I really love Dream Warriors. I think a lot of people, that's where it became too commercial, but I think once again my age was just
movie.
right.
It was a good
I like
movie
the
at the time,
concept
yeah.
that they decided to fight back via their dreams, and that's where. Was that the first movie where they brought Freddy into the real world? No, they did it, I think, in the 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I forget. Like, if you woke up while you were grabbing him, it pulled him into the real world.
Right.
How did he get back into the dream world? I don't remember that.
It's been a while since I've seen those
He
movies.
just fell
so-
asleep.
Yeah,
Maybe he just went to sleep.
I'm in the real world. Poof, I'm back.
I still have to see Freddy versus Jason. I still haven't seen that.
That was a good one. They're talking about remaking that and having Robert Englund come back as well as Kane Hodder. At least I think it's them wanting to do it.
Right.
I think it'd be kind of cool to bring them back and have like a future version of that. And
Yeah.
it'd be kind of cool to see them back at it again. But with like Inception though, they actually mixed Inception with Nightmare on Elm Street on Rick and Morty. They had an episode.
That's right. That's the only Rick and Morty I have ever seen.
It's
too.
where they go into.
I'm like, what is going on here?
Well, they go into the mind of the teacher, Goldenfold, and his memory stuff was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
He was trying to save Mrs. Pancakes. And then they go deeper into the next person's dream. It's like they were hitting different characters going through.
Yeah.
And then they end up in this like Nightmare on Elm Street thing with Scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
And
that's right.
and so they're hiding out. But
then they end up in Scary Terry's dream.
Yeah, they accept his dream, and he's sitting in classroom with to be a scary monster and not having any pants on. So when they come out, he wakes up. He's like, "Oh, hey guys!" And they tell him what they need. And he becomes a missile that takes him through all the dreams. And they end up in the Goldenfold dream, going, "You will give Morty an A on math." He wakes up and goes, "I don't know what just happened, but I'm giving Morty an A."
That was a great one. Now, also, there's some movies that they do where I like it when you don't know if it's a dream or not. There's a couple like that. The classic.
Total Recall.
Oh, I was going to go. I said classic.
That to me is a classic. It's 30 years old.
Wizard of Oz.
Well, Wizard of Oz is definitely
That's
the
a
ultimate classic. Yeah.
But yes, I was going to work my way to Total Recall. And Brett.
But let's go back to Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz is they tie in everything in the now. It's been a long since I read the book, and the book makes it feel like she actually did go there. Where the movie, she meets the Wicked Witch of the West is the old woman that wants to kill the dog because the dog gets away all the time. All the characters, of the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and that were all the guys that worked on the farm.
And family were like her uncle,
Annie M, and then Uncle were not, and then all the other were just characters that were around.
That's right,
and all that stuff. Because then when she wakes up,
she's like the mayor or something, or the police officer. I'm forgetting who the real world characters were.
There was there could be even they had the traveling snake oil guy would end up being the wizard. So
that's right.
But when she wakes up, she's like, "Oh yeah, what's this place?" And all things, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there, and you weren't. It's like, what was I there? I got left out of the dream. Yes, you did.
Yeah. But that's such a cool thing, and I like the interesting thing there was how they utilized color. Yeah. And you watch Wizard of Oz now. It still holds up. That's the amazing thing.
It was done in such a great fantasy way that it's black and white in the real world. It's set in the 30s, so even though it's set in the 30s, it's not dated where it feels old. That's because when you go into Oz, that world can exist at any time.
And I think the real key too with it lasting like it has, that I forget what it was, but the budget for the sets were insane.
Yeah.
And so much of it was practical effects. So it's not like they were doing some cheap effect to make something look.
Yeah, it was all sets.
It was real sets they were on. They built this insane.
Yeah, the sound stages they used, which they still use to this day, they built these elaborate sets.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where if you look at what was going on during that time for movies, they were shooting what's the one, the Civil War movie.
With Matthew Broderick?
No, in the 30s. It was the Wind one.
Gone with the Wind?
Gone with the Wind. That was being filmed at the same time Wizard of Oz was being filmed. So these are like major budget movies.
Yeah.
And then you had another company that wanted to do Wizard of Oz. They couldn't get the rights because it was already taken. So they had Shirley Temple in The Bluebird, which was supposed to be their take on a Wizard of Oz type thing also, which was a fantasy type film that it would really happen or not happen in that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, with Wizard of Oz though, you got the black and white for the real world where she gets, when the cyclone hits and she gets knocked out, and then the house is spinning, flies through, and she wakes up and it's black and white. So she opens the door, comes out, there's full color, and that's the transition from the real world to the dream world, cinematically in that.
And then in a similar vein, you had Alice in Wonderland, which also dealt with dream state versus
Did it really happen? Did she actually go to Wonderland, or was she fall asleep by the tree and dreamt of all the stuff there? Because after seeing a rabbit and things like that, so that was always one of the things too. Is that really and when you read the books are a little bit different than the movies, where you're not too sure if they're trying to say it's a dream or actually they're crossing over. But the movies themselves interpret it more as a dream state,
which then takes us to the modern day, but now a classic. Total Recall.
Yeah, the beauty
Isn't
of
his name Quaid?
Yeah.
Wow, we have two Quaids mentioned in dream movies. Quaid.
Yep. But the beauty of Total Recall though was he was a guy that was working, and he sees all this the new technology as they can put, you can't go on a real vacation. Well, we'll make it seem like you did.
They implant the memory dream or whatever into you,
so it feels like you did. You come out having these great experiences,
right? And he wanted to be this like top level secret agent.
Yeah, that's the dream he chose. Is this adventure on Mars, and he always wanted to go to Mars, never had. Yes. And then
so the ending, we don't know if I love that they end it in a way that you can choose.
You first start off thinking they were like, oh my god, he's freaking out. There's already memories there. It's like he had already been had his memories blocked and wiped out, and they reactivated.
Was that Quado?
Yeah.
Was it Quado? The guy, the face. He opens up his shirt and they're like, ah.
Yeah, he was one of the mutants on Mars, and that. And, Sharon Stone was his wife. In that, and one of her early roles. But yeah, that was one of those ones when you watch it, you think, no, this is really happening. Like they uncovered it, and he just really was a secret agent. And then the video is, Quaid, this is me, and now I want my body back. And
and then now dream stuff transcends movies and also goes into TVs. There's some really classic dream sequences in TV. What would you think is probably? You mentioned a really great one to me. Before.
Well, the most iconic one is always the Dallas one.
That
he
is
wakes up and goes to the shower, and he's not dead anymore.
Which is awesome because they created a new technique for us to wipe out entire seasons or movies and pretend like they didn't happen through dream sequence.
Yeah. But the best one was, I did show you a video, and it was from Newhart, and it's the Newhart show where he ran the end. At the very end of it, he gets hit in the head with a ball, passes out, and wakes up in bed with Suzanne Plachette from the Bob Newhart show from the 70s.
In the 70s.
Which is a classic. He goes, let me tell you about this crazy dream I had.
Yeah, so the entire series ended up being a dream for the Bob Newhart show.
And it was a great way to end the series. Like, how do you end this series? Which was a great, I remember I watched the Newhart show in the 80s, and so it was airing every week, and that's one of the shows I always enjoyed. It was funny. Yeah. And, you had Larry, and this is my brother Daryl. You had the heiress that was the housekeeper, and then the boyfriend that became her husband that was like his literary guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, the handyman that just couldn't fix anything right and kept forgetting stuff. So it was these great group of characters. And then to wake up with, I remember watching that when the finale aired. It's like, okay, and he wakes up, and I was like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
And what's great about that is that happened back when, like now, so many things get leaked out now. So it's hard for
pre-internet. So this was
a total surprise to the viewers, and it was a happy surprise.
Oh yeah, well you can hear the audience because it's pitch black, so no one in the live studio audience knew what was going to happen.
Right.
He clicks on the light, and they lost it. And then when she clicks on the light, and they see it's actually Suzanne Plachette in bed with him, it was over.
Right.
The audience had lost it. That was listening, and they finished up the quick little scene.
Yeah.
Which I'm wondering how many, if they had to go back and redo a couple of those shoots just to get the close-ups and get the sound, because the audience was like, "Oh my God, this is brilliant."
And then playing off of that as a spoof, they did a spoof of that on Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and after the last season, they released it on the internet and it was put on the DVD and that stuff. He wakes up and it was like he had this. Let me tell you this crazy dream, and he's back with the wife from Malcolm in the Middle.
Right.
But the neat thing was the Heisenberg hat is in the room there.
Yeah. So then it's like, whoa, wait, or was it a dream? So that was cool.
But what was hilarious is because how he was kind of this weenie on Malcolm in the Middle to being the tough guy on Breaking Bad, he goes back to kind of being that little weenie type guy.
Yeah. Well, we're coming up to the end here. One last mention. I got to give a shout out because it only lasted one season, but Life on Mars.
Yeah, based on a British series. I love that show too, where a guy basically wakes up and he's in the 70s and he's a cop.
Yeah.
At the same precinct he's supposed to be in the modern time.
Yeah, what's great about the way they did this show is you don't know till the very end, which they had to wrap up very fast, but thankfully they were allowed an episode to wrap everything up. But you think he's like a time traveler who forgets that he's a time traveler. These things happen throughout the series. And at the end, what you find out is they were actually on a mission to Mars and they were in suspended animation. So
and some of the little things that happened made sense. So
yeah, and when they wake up, the other characters in the dream sequence were other astronauts.
Yeah. Now, last little thing also is I was looking this up. Netflix. There's a movie. It came out on July 27th. I'm going to have to watch. It stars Michael Pena from the Ant-Man movies. He's the one that tells the funny stories when he's trying to explain what happened.
Oh, okay.
So you'll recognize him when I show you this picture there, right there.
All right.
He's got a movie called Extinction, and he dreams of an alien invasion coming to Earth, and it happens.
Okay.
So that's a neat little dream tie-in too. So he's having those future dreams.
All right.
Ooh. So that should be fun.
If you guys have any favorite dream sequences or movies or memories, whatever you want, post them in the comments, and we'd love to hear about them.
Yeah.
And we got a lot coming up this week, but we got to wish a happy birthday to Sean Connery.
Yeah, he shares a birthday month with me.
Yes, International Talk Like Sean Connery Day is coming up Saturday.
No, 25th, isn't it?
And this is me and Brett doing a horrible Sean Connery impersonation. But he'll be 88 years old.
The rapist for 200.
I love...
That's therapist.
I can never get too much. Sean Connery and SNL, Trebek.
Suck it, Trebek.
Look up some of those videos.
Yeah, it was like, what, Connery. 3 years ago you introduced us to this around this time on the way back from Florida.
Very brief backstory. Maurice LaMarche created International Talk Like William Shatner Day,
right?
Which is on William Shatner's birthday every year.
Right.
And so I create International Sean Connery Day, and for some reason it hasn't taken the world by storm yet. We are now on year 3, so you guys need to do it. Give credit to me.
We'll post on the Odd Musings. Scott will post up on Saturday.
What's funny is when I first introduced Brett and Kevin Lean to this concept, they rolled their eyes at it, and they thought it was so dumb. But by the end of our 12-hour car ride,
we started doing the little stuff. We were heading up to Russell's, and we'd see stuff, and also be creating all these crazy that we can't do on the show because we can't keep it family friendly. But
billboards we'd read in Sean Connery's. We were like, when you're in a car for 12 hours, you get a little slap happy. But oh my God, we were laughing so hard at anything Sean Connery.
And it was stupid stuff like songs come in. She went in through the outdoor and do the Sean Connery voice.
Yeah. So happy birthday to James Bond.
88.
I
think he's 88.
88.
Is what we said.
So happy birthday to him, August 25th. Also, next week, we're going to be talking about real estate. We're going to incorporate some of my real estate practice. And
Jill's coming in, hopefully.
Yep. Jill Webler will be joining us.
It's going to be fun, guys. Because what I told Scott we're going to do is they're going to have all kinds of stuff. He'll give me a little bit of information, but I want to be as I am. I don't know anything about real estate. So these questions I have will come from someone that doesn't know, and they'll be fresh and stuff like that. So and as we're talking, and you guys want to comment during the show at that time, if you have questions, we'll get that on there,
and we'll answer those. Dominic, anything coming up to promote for you?
No, nothing till next month.
Next month?
Capital City Comic Con.
Capital City.
Okay,
Oh, that's
you're
coming
there,
up.
right, Brett?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah, we're not doing that one this year.
It was. I was already doing 2 shows in September, and it was just too much to try to do 3 weekends in a row.
So Capital City in Lansing, check that out.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you guys to do me a favor.
Yep.
www.belovedwitness.com. Go there. That will take you to my fundraising page for my running. I just started late since I was going to not do the run, now canceled it, and then now I'm doing it. Already up to $125. I'm going for $1,000. So if you guys could go there, donate, read about the cause on that page, I would appreciate it.
I think it's a good thing, and looking forward. I'm glad you're running again and going to run in the Free Press Marathon in October.
That's right.
You're
2 months.
We're going to promote that more for you guys. We'll put a link up on the Facebook and the website for that
That's
too.
right.
It's a good charity they deal with on that. All right. But next week we're going to have a very special episode with a guest. So join us then. Until then, Dominic, take us out.
This is Lisa with T-24.com, and you've been listening to Odd Musings with Brett and Scott.